So today we're going to be talking about leather stamping or leather embossing. I'm going to teach you my 5-step method to nail this every time. We're also going to be talking through different types of leather, how they affect the ability to stamp. So let's dive into this now. So let's look at first, what is leather stamping and why do we use it? Using force, we mold a shape directly into the leather surface. This then leaves the permanent mark in the leather. Many different types of leather stamping, but today we're going to be focusing on letters. And letters are particularly difficult because unlike a maker's mark or a logo where you have a single stamp, this is lining up multiple different stamps next to each other and trying to spell out a word or some initials. There's often some complexities that go along with it, but I'm going to teach you exactly how to nail it every time. So stamping you can generally do with mechanical hand press, or you can do it with hand tools, so a mallet and then the individual stamps. Today we're going to be using hand tools only, just because it's easier to get into. Okay, so before getting onto stamping, let's talk about leather for a minute. I'm going to oversimplify it, but there are generally two types of tannage. There is chrome tan, and then there is veg tan. When it comes to leather stamping, veg tan really is the clear winner, and I'm going to explain to you why. Veg tan is tanned naturally using all natural tannins. These come from plants, the leaves, the bark, and it can take up to about 30 days to create the end hide. Now, using these natural tannins makes the leather much more porous, it makes it firmer, and it makes it much more responsive to moisture. Because the leather patinas beautifully, so it takes on oils and moisture from whenever it's being used or touched, and it develops this beautiful color, pattern, and texture. And this is why you'll often see veg tan being used for more hard wearing items, so belts, wallets, camera straps, knife sheaths, items that you want to develop this patina on over time. Now, chrome tan, however, is tanned with chromium salts. This is a much quicker process and also a cheaper process as a result of it. So it can take really just a couple of days to create your end chrome tan leather. Now, because it's tanned with chromium salt, this makes it softer, more pliable, and also slightly water resistant. So the surface is not porous like veg tan. So water typically runs off, it doesn't absorb oils as much, and it creates this water resistant layer. Now I'm going to do a longer video in the future, differences between chrome tan and veg tan, so make sure you subscribe to check that one out. The question is, why does chrome tan not stamp as well as veg tan? Because it's slightly water resistant and it repels moisture and oils. Chrome tan, the surface is just much more resistant to any imprints, and that includes stamping. Now you can stamp chrome tan, but it just doesn't last very long. With veg tan, it will not really change very much, whereas with chrome tan, those letters, those stamps will eventually sort of just soften from the leather surface. Have you ever wondered how veg tan gets the really nice dark letters? And it's all about two things: moisture and compression. When you dampen the veg tan, the fibers swell and become much more flexible. Then when you press your stamp down onto the surface of the veg tan, and you're actually compressing those fibers deep down into the leather surface. Now this creates a denser and a smoother surface that reflects light differently. So it looks much darker even after it dries. And it's not a coloring or a dye or a burn. You're purely changing the surface of the leather using that moisture. Now you don't need the water, but you just won't get that nice, dark, contrasting look. You can still stamp into veg tan easily without water. Adding moisture to the surface of the leather, that's called casing. And you want to make sure that you case your leather, so stick around later in the video to hear more on that. The 5-step process is actually quite simple. So we're going to grab some scrap veg tan, and I'm going to talk you through an example right now. Okay, so step 1 is to do this as early as you can in the process. Now mistakes do happen, and sometimes you just will mess up the letter stamping or the order or the alignment of the stamps. It's happened to me many times, and you have to be okay with starting the process again. So what I like to do is I like to do the stamping as early as I can so that I don't waste time if I do have to start again. This will improve with practice. These days, I'm wasting far fewer pieces of leather than I did when I started. Step 2 is going to be practicing on scraps. So keep those little pieces of scrap leather. Those are really useful to allow you to actually practice this. So every leather will take a stamp slightly differently. So you need to practice on that specific type of leather before you do it on your cutout finished piece that's ready to go. So when you're stamping, some leathers take a stamp very easily, whereas some leathers, it takes definitely more hits of the mallet to get that stamp nicely imprinted. And you need to get a feel for how that will work for your particular type of leather. What you don't want to do is over stamp it, and you'll get the little edges around the letter stamp that will dig in and permanently mark your piece of leather. So step 3 is going to be using some tape. Now, the tape can really help you to line up those letters perfectly in a line, but then also show you exactly where to put the individual letters. So some letters have different widths. So letters like B and A are quite wide, whereas I and J are traditionally quite thin. So if you want to have your letters that are not evenly spaced, which is more natural, that's how you would write it, then you need to make sure that you use some tape, and I'll show you exactly how to do that now.
Okay, now so the reason that we use masking tape is I've tried this with lots of different tapes, and this is the one tape that doesn't seem to mark any of my leather pieces. Pull off a piece longer than you need and lay it down on your leather. You want to make sure it goes down perfectly straight. Here you can see the two letters A and I. The A is much wider than the I. So firstly, what I'm going to do is just an evenly spaced example. So I'm going to lay out my 3 letters. I'm going to use A, I, and R for this example. And then I'm going to mark the center of each letter onto the tape. I'll then go through and stamp them. Now, in this next example, what I'm going to do is space them really tightly. So I'm going to measure the widths of each letter and space the edge of one letter up against the next. So as I is quite a narrow letter, the A and the R are going to be spaced pretty close to that I. Now later on in the video, I'll show you exactly how to get rid of this mark that you get when you peel back the tape. Now in this final example, what I'm going to do is naturally space the letters. So I'm not going to space them evenly, I'm not going to space them right up against each other. I'm going to space them a little bit further away, depending on how you'd naturally write it. And I think it just looks much better. So here in this example, you can see the 3 different types of letter spacing. And personally, I think that the naturally spaced just looks the best. It mimics the way we would naturally write it. Now to get rid of the tape mark once you've finished, what I like to do here is grab a damp cloth and then just rub it over consistently across the whole leather piece and just nicely smooth it over. Now this is partially dry and the finished result has no tape mark, looks great. No permanent mark here. Obviously test this out on your own leather, but in my experience I've never had it mark anything.
Step 4 is going to be wetting the leather, or casing it as we call it. So as I explained earlier, this will help you get that really nice dark contrast into the veg tan. Now you don't want it to be soaked, you want it to absorb the water, but you want to remove any of that excess water before you start stamping.
So here what you want to do is case the leather, make sure it's not too damp, and then with your letter stamp, just stamp as you would any other time. You'll get a nice dark contrast into the leather, and just repeat this until it's the nice consistent clean color throughout.
And then step 5 is about rotation and angle. Now you can position the stamp at slightly different angles if you want to make sure that you get really nice consistent contrasting color all the way around the stamp. Sometimes your stamps will have different high points and low points, and this will mean part of the stamp will be the nice dark contrast color and some will be lighter. You can do this so you can get a really nice consistent color throughout.